have unique challenges and relationships, whether it's residents or leading your teams. Just what's life like on property day in and day out?
Well, fast. Okay? Fast and furious with the steadiness of quality.
Agreed.
Where you're not burned out. And I think that's very important. I think that every day is different. I think that whether it's your team, whether it's yourself, first off, coming in the door, you have to make sure that you're ready, whether it's your team, the residents, your boss, just everybody involved. It's super fast paced, and when you are a portfolio manager, you are also managing an asset. So you have to be able to multitask like no other. And you have to be sure that everybody is getting the quality of attention and the solutions.
Yeah.
And it's rewarding, to be honest with you. But the pace, fast.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. It's ever changing.
Yeah.
You never, operation wise, it's the same as far as what we do in the mornings, get there, open up, but you never know what your day is going to be like. There's challenges constantly, but it also makes it exciting to where you don't know. Okay, what's the next challenge? Something you've never dealt with before. So you have to think of different avenues. It's constantly keeping you thinking and on your toes. So it's definitely, customer service industry in general takes special people.
Right.
Because you just never know. You have to be always, even though something may be going on with your personal life or things are going on with your team or whatever, you always have to put your best face forward and be like, like nothing's going on. So it's ever changing for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think with the fast pacedness, especially being a portfolio manager, with us having our own home base that we're having to oversee daily, as well as supervising the others, some days I feel like I have accomplished nothing, honestly, because it's so fast paced. But when you really sit there and look at the end of the day, you've helped, your other managers, your team, leading your team, dealing with vendors, everyone that's involved, like you said, I still feel that sense of accomplishment, even though I feel like I really didn't do anything today. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
We're in a service industry, right? So we are about servicing people and making our customers number one and happy. And so we may have those good days and we may have those bad days, but we always got to keep that smile on, huh?
Always, till you get in the car.
That's awesome. Flip this to teams though now, right? Because we want people to be ambitious. We want people, that's not a bad thing, right? We want them to want to move up. But as you move up and you move into new jobs, what is your advice to taking on new roles, and what does it look like when you get the promotion? How do you navigate taking on that new role, maybe with working with some of the same people? What was your advice there?
With grace and patience. I think you do a lot of your work if you play your cards right. You're doing all your work. You're laying that groundwork prior. So if I'm a leasing consultant and I want to be an assistant community manager, I'm going to make sure that I'm building my rapport with my teammates, getting to know everybody, paying attention, work on cross training. So when I get in that role, we already all respect each other. It's not, I think I should be in a higher position. We've seen folks like this. I think I should be in a higher position, and maybe you don't bond with your teammates because you're upset about something or you feel like you've been overlooked. And then when you get there, you have that higher of a hill to climb to make it smooth. And then patience. When you move up into a position, let's say in that same example, you're a leasing agent and now you're an assistant. So you move into the assistant role and there's a new leasing specialist. And maybe that leasing person isn't learning as quick as you did or picking up on the property or the resident's needs as quick as you did. Well, there's a reason you just got promoted and they're also new. So let's have patience and grace with each other and work together while we all acclimate. That would be my quick advice on that.
What is one or maybe two challenges that an assistant manager just has to know going in? This is what you're going to deal with.
I would say the angry residents, because of course we're dealing with something that's very fine, their home. We're kind of the people that are standing in the way of possibly them staying in their home or them possibly being evicted. So that is huge, knowing how to kind of handle the residents when they are in that state where they're like, I'm upset. I don't have the money, but I'm upset.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm in this state where I'm like, I need the money. I'm like, I can't do anything else.
Right.
And then the second thing would be stepping into a leadership role and coming from being a leasing agent, because now I'm having to mentor our leasing agents. I'm having to kind of give them tips on how to be better leasing agents, or just things of that nature. So I think those would probably be the two most difficult things, like dealing with angry residents and then mentoring staff.
But I think what's really big in resident issues is taking accountability. So if we did do something wrong, not necessarily covering that up or making excuses. I've really seen in my career that people really appreciate it when you just take accountability for what went wrong. But then finding a resolution and, committing to that, but then also follow through after the fact.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning, a lot of times the conversations do start off, a little aggressive, but my goal by the time they leave my office is that they're smiling and they trust that I'm going to take care of them. And again, I think that's taking accountability, creating a plan of resolution, and then follow through.
The goal is to win the existing resident because it costs us more to find another one, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's a big part of that business side of things. And you guys, when you talked about managing assets earlier, part of that managing the asset is if we can keep the existing person and find a resolution there, that's way better for us financially at every level.
Yeah.
Rather than, we ran them off and they're mad about this or whatever. We'll just find somebody else,
Yeah.
which leaves us with an empty unit,
Yes.
which impacts all of you guys.
Yeah.
It impacts how we do that. But what is your advice a lot of times when it comes to the training them to deal with residents, especially if we're talking about unhappy ones?
I think the lady said it best. I think the number one key thing is to listen, right? Because we do not know what our residents are going through. And sometimes they may be wrong and we have in our thoughts, no, I know this is this direction, but I think we have to come first with empathy and really make sure that we're there for them and work through what the situation to find that solution. But definitely I train to make sure that teams know to follow through with whatever they're going to say. Because if you're not authentic and you're not being honest, your resident's going to see that. That will lead to bad review. Bad reviews lead to etc. Right? Yes. So ultimately, if we want to keep our resident happy and keep them in our community, again, as in any role or any position, is making sure that what we say is what we honor, and if we can't, make sure we follow through that with the conversation.